the drama that's been going on with like a few other streamers and things like that. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I recommend following this guy. He does amazing work. He does a good channel. He does a good channel. Entertaining for sure. But yeah.
Welcome back to a series so sparky. Even Luxury subscribed. In today's video, Hassan's chatters are explaining to him that he's a very unlikable person. He is not happy. Hassan is now claiming that his fans are not actually harassing Jellywig's girlfriend, Cutie. People have proven he is lying once again, and it's definitely unhinged Hassan fans. The drama has escalated further, and Cutie is being harassed again by Hassan fans for being friends with the FaZe guys or anyone else who makes edgy jokes. She has responded. Ethan is calling out the man without a spine, Jellywig.
The reason why I like watching this stuff is it's like a tale. It's like an instruction manual for other content creators, other streamers, to know what not to do. The one thing you're not supposed to ever do. Well, I've never been a fan of this Jellywig. I've never been a fan of him. The reason why is I watched his videos. I think I watched 2 of his videos. Yeah, the dog thing. I watched 2 of his videos before. And each one, I've never been a fan of the people who, I understand, he's a business owner. He's running his business. He's the head of the business. So he has to operate a certain way. But I don't like people who aren't themselves. I've never been able to hang out with people who aren't themselves. I can hang out with someone who's absolutely terrible as long as they are themselves and not completely terrible. I could hang out with people who don't agree with me as long as we can talk, as long as we can come to an understanding, and as long as I know who they are. And with the Jellywig or Ludwig, I had no clue who he was watching his videos. It was just he was doing it to do it because that's what was expected. And I've always felt like it's best to just be me. I'd rather be me. I don't care if it gets me in trouble, because let's be honest, it will get me in trouble. I've said some many crazy things. But also never be audience captured. You all can't tell me what to do. You can recommend things. You can recommend things. But it's like, if you guys tell me, oh no, this is evil, and I'm like, no, it's a positive. Like, it doesn't change. Everyone can have different opinions on certain things. I mean, shocking a dog is shocking a dog. That is fake. I wouldn't say they're fake. So he's basically a company. And companies want to be as open as possible and accepting of everyone as possible. But when it's a brick building and you don't see the face of the company, it's fine. But when you see the face of the company and a person is acting that way, you can't. It's not that they're fake. It's just that they're more like not real. You can't see who they are. So, fake, but not entirely fake, because he's doing it all for a purpose.
XUC has also responded, cooking Ludwig for trying to expose him. Streamer Emiru has revealed that Twitch prevented disclosing the name of her assaulter in order to protect themselves. She has also accused streamer Mizkif of very bad things. And a bunch of more updates.
Something else I don't
Subscribe, or you gotta feed Froggen. You're cooked.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's
check him out.
begin.
Check out more
So
Pegasus.
Hassan apparently zapped his dog, and we had a ton of stuff go down. Now, after all that, he said he wanted to quit streaming because of the backlash.
I want to shut everything off. I just want to go away.
So that brings us to today. Hassan's chatter is now explaining to him that he's not a likable person.
All leftists are like that. I think it's just you, dog. You're just an asshole. No offense, but as someone who agrees with 80% of your politics, it's crazy how unlikable you are. I don't even know why. Okay, who do you perceive as a more likable figure? Like this is what I.
Why does he want to be likable? Just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. Don't care what the haters say. There will always be people that like you. Don't focus on the haters.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I like that the 3 people that you mentioned as a much more likable figure are the 3 people that I have direct communication with, like are the closest, with the exception of, I mean, I guess like Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar. They like me quite a bit, as a matter of fact. Maybe they see something you don't. I don't know. Also, those are politicians. They have to be. Probably because they don't watch your stream. Oh, okay. Who do you think is at fault here? Guy who agrees with overwhelming majority of my opinions, but simply can't seem to place your finger on why you just have distaste for me, and you can't let go of that optical resentment? Or guy who's trying to navigate.
See, dude, Hassan, I'm a nobody. You should know. Just ignore this. Just ignore this. Like that's one of the things. It's like a lot of people get so caught up when you're stuck. I mean, I have an excuse. I have to go to work tomorrow. I have to get out in the real world, and I have to get busy. But when you spend 8 to 10 hours a day on stream, just sitting there, talking with people, shocking your dog in the background, allegedly, you get so audience captured, and all you see is one thing consistently. You have to broaden your spectrum. You have to see other stuff. You can't just be... Well, he's so one far to the end, and he refuses to accept any other point of view or any other perspective. Oh,
Way you talk, I think, or guys just trying to navigate through the treacherous nature of reactionary politics that are so pervasive online. It's because I give off a frat dude vibe. All right, man.
Dude, I love how the instant Hassan response is desperately trying to find anything that this guy said that actually makes him look crazy, right? This is just a classic Hamas Piker playbook. Let me quickly find something he said. Oh, maybe he's mentioned Asmongold in a chat before. Maybe he said the word Ethan, right? And that would automatically discredit him.
they can't say the word Ethan in his chat. They'd have to say E. They can't say Destiny in his chat. They have to say D. It's just like, these people can't, like, you could say anything you want in my chat because, well, first of all, I have no moderators, so I get hit hard. And then, second of all, what do I have to be afraid of? People calling me a white supremacist? I mean, come on. Come on. Everyone has their own issues. When I was young, I remember being in college and people thought the weirdest thing, because I grew up with 4 brothers. People thought the weirdest crap of me. Absolutely weird. And I just came to the understanding that everything you hear about me is 100% true from a certain point of view. And I literally got that from Star Wars. It's like in The Empire, where Obi-Wan is basically telling Luke Skywalker, just like, oh, it is true from a certain point of view. If someone's telling lies about me to somebody, and that somebody doesn't know me, they're going to believe the lies. So what they know is 100% true from their point of view, because they trust the person that told them that stuff. So in the end, you can't just go around barking at every single person that just doesn't believe you. There's no point. There's no point in tracking down every one person. You just accept it and move on. The people who will follow you will follow you. The people who will watch you will watch you. The people who will enjoy poking fun at how dumb you are as a human being, which I know I am, they'll just do that. They'll just do that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Poke fun at me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Most tools aren't sharp, though. Well, of course, I'm thinking like pliers and then flatheads and screwdrivers. But I guess if you're using a saw, that should be pretty sharp.
It just can't be a regular chatter of Hassan. It cannot be a fan of him because he thinks that he's just beloved by his fan base, despite the fact that now we've had multiple instances of his own fan base turning on him. We had the 40-month subscriber, someone who's been paying you money for 3 years straight, calling you out, and you just cannot seem to grasp the message. Also, is it just me, or did he start tweaking there? What the hell was he doing with his mouth there? I don't know if he was like trying to bite his nails or something, trying to do his best XQC impression there, but copying him is not going to give you his 2 million IQ. Also, I just want to point out the obvious. Notice how the dog is missing in a lot of these new clips. I don't know, guys. Seems like
because the dog isn't forced to be there. Like, I'm gonna say, I mean, again, if he would have just said, like, I know a lot of people have said this, if he would have just said, yes, I used a shock collar, I was having a bad day, my trainer told me I could have used one. If he would have just been honest about it from the beginning, no one would be talking about him. Everyone would just be focusing on his his calls to hatred, his calls to violence, his praising terror organizations, that people would be focusing on that again. But the fact that he refuses to take accountability for it. I bought a shock collar once with my little boy that's sleeping underneath the desk. I bought a shock collar. And because my older brother used a shock collar to train his dog, and that dog ended up being very well trained. I used it once. Once. The cry my dog made, I took it back. I took it back. I was not going to put my dog through that. And my dog is too smart. He knows when I don't want him to do things, but I never tortured him to not do things. So when I'm around, he follows what I expect, what he knows he needs to do. Like, he's very lazy. He takes after me. He's a very lazy boy. He's a very lazy boy. But it's like, you don't need to shock them to get him obedient. Sure, I wish he was more obedient, but I'm not going to torture my dog for that. I mean, even if a trainer told me, but not everyone's like that. Some people will listen to the trainer, and he could have easily said, oh, my trainer said this. And he could have done it. He could have been like, yeah, I did it. I didn't know how bad it was. Once I heard that cry, I had never heard her cry like that before. He could have done so many random things as an excuse, but he didn't. He didn't. He was just like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Here's the thing I used. Here's the thing I used. I've been following this story for a while. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
The place command is not working without the Zapatron 9000. This absolute piece of shit. Free Kaya from the fridge to the TV. Kaya will be free. I really dislike a streamer of his size pulling up a random chatter on his screen for this long. It's not so bad when you're a smaller streamer, parasocial community building. How many thousands of people are watching you berate this chatter? Teaching the chat it's okay to dogpile. I mean, this is just a classic. Hassan will be like, oh yeah, I'm only going after the big dogs, the people in power, the politicians who deserve it. But he's routinely, like, probably like 50% of the clips are Hassan shitting on his own chat, singling them out, whether he be pulling out a gun on them, trying to dox them, or basically just sick his entire fan base on them, right? To silence any form of dissent. No self-reflection, just small grunts and chuckles under his breath as he pulls up the chatter's logs to try to find something to attack them with, only to realize he's an actual fan giving criticism, which isn't allowed. Probably banned him after the stream. I don't know if he banned him because he kind of needs to hold on to...
Yeah, he can't be banning him, because the problem is these people are absolutely faithful. Absolutely faithful. And you can't ban the people who... The problem with being audience captured. You end up developing a community to where you can't say no to them. You can't discuss with them. You can't argue with them. I mean, I guess I'm lucky. I'm so freaking small. It's not important. Oh... Baseball? No, I know nothing about sports. Ya boy. Ya boy. I know nothing about sports. But yeah, like an owner, like a pet, you think it's true? I think it's true. I think it's true. Like, especially so when they're younger, when dogs are younger, they don't emulate you as much. They don't copy you as much because you're just starting out. You're just figuring out who you are. Or they're figuring out who you are. But the more time you spend with them, the more they start to copy you. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm talking, my dog is legit right underneath my desk, sleeping on his bed. Just let me take a picture. Let me take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture. He's adorable. He's absolutely adorable. You know what? I'm gonna get the stream in it so you guys know I'm telling the truth. Bam! Right underneath me. Right underneath me. Because he's just like me. Anytime I'm sitting down, he's sitting down. Anytime I'm moving around, he's sitting down. He just doesn't do anything. He's so freaking lazy. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm streaming everywhere. I'm streaming everywhere. But I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm okay that he does nothing. Because he's adorable. He knows that when I grab a comb, he's going to get groomed. When he's absolutely okay with the grooming vacuum, too. because he just likes how it feels. He gets treats all the time. I probably shouldn't have said that word. No, he didn't hear me. He's not paying attention to me. He knows when I'm right here. Yeah, Bolt's amazing, huh? Bolt's amazing. He's asleep right underneath me. Well, underneath the desk at least. But yeah. Oh. So the dogs do emulate the people, but it depends. I think because dogs always want to comfort and love, and they can sense emotion. They can truly sense emotion. So if I start to get aggravated or tense or stressed, my dog is more active, wanting to come to me and spend time with me because it's his instinct to try and comfort me. And if you look at it, a lot of the times when the streamer is getting heated and yelling is the times, or maybe the dog just wants to get some water or food, is the times when the dog gets up and tries to get close, tries to move around, because it's not a prop. It's a dog who's wanting to comfort their master. My dog does that all the time, but most of the time I'm chilled. Most of the time I'm not, I don't like things kicked to me. The only times that happens is like when I'm dealing with like the visa and all of that, trying to deal with the government in order to get my wife with me. That's basically it. That's the only thing. The only thing that causes me stress, and that's the only times my dog really comes to me and just like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. But yeah, dogs really do take after their owners.
All the supporters, the views are dwindling, and we all know what happens when Hassan's views go down. He starts going to his Discord, telling them how he's gonna neck himself, trying to guilt trip them into subscribing and shit. Right, now remember how Ludwig and QT were getting non-stop harassment from deranged Hassan fans? Now Ludwig was getting harassment because he said it is 100% a shot caller, and then he walked it back, you know, like good old Jellywig, dared to grow a spine and then immediately lost it. And QT got harassment for daring to mention Asmongold's streamer show, and she said that, you know, it could possibly be a good thing. Well, Hassan has responded claiming that it's not his fans that are doing the harassment, guys. My fans would never harass anybody, actually, and will prove he's a fucking...
Yeah, okay. Never harass anybody. You always got to state that. You always have to state that. I haven't stated that yet. Never harass anybody. Never. There's no point. There is no point. I mean, I guess me watching a video, being critical of someone is a form of harassment, but I'm not going out of my way to leave messages or hate comments or anything. I'm just doing this because I find this series absolutely entertaining. And to think that it started with a content cop. This series is going on like 150 episodes, and I find it absolutely enjoyable from start to finish.
Liar again, because we have the evidence. Hassan
Never
says it's not his fans going after QT. It's another section of the left. Of course, it cannot be him, guys.
Of course, it's the left, though.
Competing award show or something. And everyone got mad at her. And they were like, why are you highlighting these right-wing figures? It's true. Aiden Ross and Asmongold are right-wing figures. They are.
Okay, I don't know anything about Aiden Ross. I know he had a stream with Trump, I believe. So maybe he is right-wing. Asmongold? Absolutely not. If anything, he's center. More to the left than center, I would say. But center, nonetheless. That's all I can say. That's it. I would say I'm more right than Asmongold. But I have my own... Like, everyone's allowed to have their own opinions. There's no point in attacking someone over them. There's no point. Everyone's allowed. Just have a discussion. Just have a discussion. Talk to people about things. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. But yeah. Asmongold is not right.
This is not any sort of serious, sincere advocacy. And I'm not even taking ownership over the people that were doing that, because like I literally looked to see if these were like genuine fans of mine or something.
The only thing I don't like that Trump has done is he has backed out on the Epstein files. I don't care if his name is in there. He promised to release them. He better release them. They have to come out. I could care less about everything else. Deport all the illegals. We don't need them here. My father came here legally. My wife is coming here legally. I've had to deal with all that from the beginning. There is no point for anyone to just come here illegally and not be sent back and banned. If I have to go through a 2-year period trying to spend time with my wife because I have to wait 2 years Why do I have to watch these people who come here legally get free housing, get free money, no, absolutely not. Deport them, ban them, never allow them to set foot on this soil. My dad got here legally. My wife is coming here legally. That's it. That's it. So I'm okay with most of what Trump has done. It's just the Epstein files from what I've been following in the news. From what I've been following. That's it. Release the Epstein files. You sound guilty with how you're pretending they don't exist anymore. You sound absolutely guilty. Absolutely.
Because guess what? They weren't. But also guess what? Every other community that saw people yelling, every other community that saw people yelling at Cutie Cinderella, do you know what they think? They think it was my audience that did that.
Gee, I wonder why.
Anyone who feels slighted by a hall monitor on the internet, okay? Anyone who feels slighted by a hall monitor on the internet immediately associates that with the broad leftist movement. And for many people who have horse blinders on that don't see the world outside of this like little confine that we exist in this little echo chamber that we live in, I am the representative of all things left and all things woke. They don't see so many people that would yell at Cutie for something like that also yelling at me, saying I'm anti-black, saying this, saying that. They don't see that shit. Or when they do, they go, oh, here it is. These fucking woke.
You hear that, yo boy? You hear that? He said it. He said it. But we got to do a stream together. We definitely got to do a stream together. I'm getting my whole setup and everything, so we can do a stream. Yeah. No illegal should ever be allowed. It's simple. But the reason why they do it, is votes. The sad thing is for you to win a vote right now costs the future of your nation. That's the sad part. In order to win a vote, you're sacrificing your nation for that vote. But people just care. Like, that's the thing. Politicians are corrupt. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's impossible. Like, that's why when Trump was first running in 2016, I was all for it. I was a kid, and I heard he was running. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He's not a politician. I mean, he's turned into a politician over time with the Epstein files, but it's just like, yeah, we don't need one of these fake people in power telling us one thing, doing another. Trump says something, you look on his Twitter, he's saying the exact same thing. Says the exact same thing. Of course. Trump be crazy. Trump be absolutely crazy. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Woke libtards are eating each other alive once again. For the average person, they don't have the political education to sift through the different sects of the left.
Right, of course. So people are just too stupid to understand anything, obviously, without the Hassan Piker filter, right? They don't have the political education of Hassan here, right? And they can't understand that it's not his fans actually harassing her. Now, yes, they might have Hassan profile pictures, Hassan stan names commenting under Hassan's Twitter community, but it's...
Yeah, like, a lot of people try to keep the same name. They do. Like, for me, if I was to comment on someone's page, odds are I'd have the same exact name. I think the only place I don't have the same name is Instagram, because I couldn't get the underscore. I couldn't get the underscore between L and Scribbler. I had to do a period because some freak had the underscore already, and now I'm stuck without it. But yeah, a lot of people try to keep the same moniker.
not my fans, guys. This guy is such a pathological liar, it's actually insane. I'm honestly impressed every single time. Right, so Dan Saltman responded, every single person from the viral screenshot harassing Ludwig and Cutie is a member of Hassan Twitter or is self-admitted to being a Hassan fan. Even half of the examples were in Hassan Twitter Lamau, he just lies like he breathes. And here was the viral screenshot of Hassan fans just hounding Ludwig.
So, okay, so they didn't even need to do comparing names. They literally had the link to his Twitter account on their profiles. because they're members of it, I guess. I don't exactly know how X works. I don't spend enough time there. I mean, I'm streaming there right now, but I don't spend enough time there. So he didn't apparently even look. Everyone else just noticed it immediately because they spent more time there.
Right? And we got all these people, and they all seem to be Hassan fans in some way or the other. You got the Hassan Twitter community right there. And then they mention him in their profiles or in other tweets saying they have merch, etc., etc. And keep in mind, this is a completely random screenshot. So you can just imagine the scale. We've took a random sample here, and they all happen to be Hassan viewers. It's insane. Another person responds, why is anyone taking these fake woke hypocrites seriously? It's literally just Hassan fans using anything they can to get back at QT for what she said about the color. Go through and check each profile that's attacking QT. Right, so this is another situation which we'll get to very soon. He can't make those jokes around me. You're not who you associate with, actually. And if you look up this person, I thought I left my Hassan merch at the yoga studio. My Hassan merch, guys. Hassan literally opened his home to you. This is effing gross. This is shocking as Hassan's wildest cancellation. I can't believe this. It's not Hassan fans harassing her, guys. Happy birthday, Hassan. Interesting, guys. These are not...
That selfie spoke volumes. Spoke volumes. That selfie right there spoke. I mean, I don't want to insult someone for their looks.
Hassan's wildest cancellation. I can't believe this. It's not Hassan fans harassing her, guys. Happy birthday.
Yeah. It says a lot. It says a lot. Speaks volumes. And I've been on record saying there's nothing worse than white people. Nothing worse. Absolutely. It's what was it? It was Catholic guilt, where they feel guilty for everything that had happened, and now it's white guilt, and it's primarily women. White guilt, where they feel guilty because something. I don't care enough to know, but
Hassan.
Something.
Interesting, guys. These are not Hassan fans. I want you to know, not Hassan fans. Tecto responded, yeah, Hassan, this definitely isn't your chat. Dear God, has this guy not lied one time? When have you ever said anything for Palestine? There's one guy who sits and commentates on the issue, and it's so obviously a smear campaign. Of course, everything is about Israel-Palestine. I wonder whose fans say that. You've been watching H3 stuff. How long until he says it's Israel going after QT and they're framing his community? He doesn't do anything about it because Ludwig and QT stepped out of line. If he actually cared, he'd cross...
I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what's going on. Because then again, it's not important to me. It's not important to me. I don't think America has a place around the world. I don't think America belongs policing nations. I really don't. If nations want to destroy each other, let them destroy each other. That's sadly how I believe. America first. As awful as that is.
Platform ban these people from their communities, but he'll never do that. Oh, he's absolutely happy that his rabid community is now going after Cutie and Ludwig, right? Because they betrayed him, right? Even though Ludwig tried to walk it back, it's not enough for the Overlord Hassan. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, apparently Hassan fans are harassing her again over another drama. Basically, Cutie said that she's still going to be friends with people who make these edgy jokes, right? Homophobic or racist jokes or whatever.
Why
And
not?
Hassan fans are going nuts on her.
Why
QT is
not?
catching heat from the parts of Twitter post Ludwig Collargate response, calling out her association to FaZe and the response to criticism. QT, when your boyfriend Ludwig is a gay card and was at TwitchCon making fun of Q people, and when your new besties from FaZe that you're obsessed with are homophobic and transphobic on the daily, what do you expect us to think about when you're actively associating with them? And they've posted this clip. Also, keep in mind the profile, protect the dolls, they got trans flag, free Palestine, leftist fighting insults, transphobe, homophobes, racist, and the occasional Swiftie. Right.
It's not comfortable.
This is my perfect example. It's like,
Too many.
okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. That does not mean that I am.
You know, I probably need a camera like this, just right in the right underneath the desk, showing my little one. He changed positions. His head was over there, now it's over here. He changed positions. But yeah, I probably need a camera underneath.
Homophobic, believe it or not, everybody.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you are not who you associate with. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, you don't build bridges by burning them. That's not how it works. I'm not going to change, though. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I will never believe that if I'm
Tags.
kind to a hateful person, that means I agree with them. I will never believe that. No matter what you guys say, I won't believe it. Because at the end of the day, if I'm around a racist person, I'm just not racist. I'm not. Me, I am not. They.
Well, also, how can you change someone's perspective if you're never spending time with them? Like, this is a tale as old as time. Even in the Bible, who did Jesus Christ spend his time with? The tax collectors and the prostitutes. He didn't spend his time at the churches. No, he was with the tax collectors and the prostitutes. And if your boy's still watching, it made what was it, 300 women come in one day or something? He heard that at a church sermon once before, and he couldn't stop laughing. But yeah, it was just, you have to spend your time with people you don't agree with. You have to broaden your perspective. You can't. So this is one thing I've mentioned multiple times. The U.S. has a massive problem because the U.S. is seen as like, well, we see ourselves as like the top of the world, right? So when you're at the top of the world, where do you look for examples? You don't. You basically look to people you respect and follow and things like that and try to emulate them. When you're in other places of the world, which aren't as well off or as free, you can look to the US, or I would say Europe, but Europe's kind of retracting a lot. You would look to these more prosperous nations and go like, why can't women do the same things here that they can do there? Why is it they can do this and build a career out of nothing because they're just whoever they are? You have the ability to look outside and be like, oh, the problem is like in the West, you don't have that ability. You end up so audience captured, so tunnel visioned. And a lot of these people have never left the US, or if they do, they leave in a group of like-minded people. They don't go to the rural areas of other nations. They don't see what life is like. Even in the US, there are problematic areas, but they'll never go and visit them. They live in their nice gated communities. They're able to have these opinions because they're safe and well off. Yet it's the people who are in these worse off communities that have to deal with the ramifications. I've traveled the world. I've seen how the world's like. I know America is well off. Even with a bunch of crazy white people, we still have it good. But that's one of the biggest issues, is America has no place to look, and people refuse to look. Or when they look outside, they look at a holy war that's been going on for a long time and go like, yeah, I'll side with them. Why? Oh, because you have no problems here in the US. I get it. You want to identify and take on the struggles of another nation.
They are, yes. But how am I supposed to help them ever? By cutting them off? No. Like, I get it. You guys can think in black and white, but that's not how it works over here.
Right, so it obviously depends on the specific joke or whatever the context is, right? If someone is like actively being a piece of shit, or, you know, they're being like a PDF file, you know, going after minors, or if they're a terrorist supporter like Hassan, I don't think you should be friends with them or promote them or help them make money through your podcast. And, you know, QT does that, so I don't like her for that. But I do sort of understand this, where if you have a friend that's making like a bunch of edgy jokes and they're not actually like racist or anything like that, they're just, you know, a little more edgy or whatever, and they like that sort of humor, I mean, I don't think you should care that much.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't, especially with friends. Like, again, I don't want to play the sexism card, but she's a woman. You have to watch your tone around, well, not just your tone, you have to watch what you say around women. Unless she's tomboyish, then normally they understand. Because if you get a group of guys together, They can be gay, they can be black, they can be trans, they can be whatever. As long as they're friends, guess what? Guess what? They will be calling each other the worst possible names imaginable. The worst names imaginable. Because they're friends. And they know there's no malice behind it. They do it because they're making fun of the person for not being the same as them, but they still, I'm not gonna lie, you love the dude. You love them. I mean, I'd take a bullet for my boy. I would. But at the same time, I'm still gonna troll him. Still gonna troll him. It's what you gotta do. Like my friends from Canada. I'll still troll them that they're from Canada. I mean, come on. Canada? Seriously?
But obviously, in some instances, you gotta navigate the nuance there. Like, if someone is making fun of dead kids after a tragedy, right after a tragedy, saying they deserve to drown, you know, some shit like Destiny or NMP, then I think you're a dickhead, because it's so specific and cruel and timed, right? To shit on the emotions of people through a tragedy, right? That is different than general random shit or making a random gay joke or whatever, right?
Especially to a friend that might be gay.
Is instantly canceling her for her associations with some of the phase guys who apparently make these jokes. You are the company you keep. In fact, I don't think QT is homophobic or racist, but to say I'm not who I associate myself with, well, not quite. It does influence who you are to some degree. It shows what you choose to tolerate and makes you more complicit than neutral by saying just don't do it around me. I kind of do agree with that, right? When you know, hang around people like Hassan, for instance, right? I don't think that makes you complicit.
Yeah, it does. You have to be able to tell them, like, hey, this isn't right. You have to be able to. So if my friend told me the jokes I was making towards him were rude and not in the sense of, you know, respectful to him, I'd back off. Be like, sorry. Explain to me why. Like, I'd want to know. I'd really want to know. It was like, why? Because I had done that once before. Where I made a joke which was really poorly timed because something had just happened in his life. And then I made kind of a joke about it. Because normally he's kind of like the let it all go, best to joke about it and move on with my life. But it was really poorly timed. And he was like, dude, I'm like, sorry. And I apologized to him again later because it was just, I realized in my head, I'm just like, I did it just out of instinct because it's like, it's what we normally do. But definitely not the right time.
Completely innocent, because you're not just hanging around him, right?
You're
having a podcast with him. You're defending him out on these multiple occasions, going on other people's streams, defending him as well. I think that's just not okay, and actually shows you support a lot of things he stands for. This streamer says, is it really a bad thing for someone like Cutie to give people a chance to learn and improve? She actively condemns things people say, even when it's a joke made in bad taste and from an outsider POV. Evidently, she taught people a lot about how their worlds hold weight and can be more negatively perceived than they realize. There's so much more to her than the intentions. You are not who you associate with. And in my opinion, criticizing her for this heavily nuanced sentiment that was boiled down to one simple sentence discounts everything she's been working for, which has no doubt always been inclusivity and cohabitation. God, these people really think they're like the saviors of society or something. I'm going to heal racism. I'm going to solve racism one racist at a time. Like, nope. You people exist for one sole reason, and is to maintain good PR and to try to convince the rest of the internet that you are the most moral and good person. And it never works. It never works. The people she supposedly taught to be better people did a fake coming out tweet on someone's account recently, and they all laughed about it. They've been this way for years. At a certain point, she and others are at best naively running cover for them as
okay. They're basically still talking about the phase boys. They're a bunch of kids in a phase house. Of course they're going to make nothing but jokes. They're surrounded by that kind of humor. That's just what you're going to end up with. The problem is the things they joke about as friends, they're all okay with it because they know they're joking. The problem is the people looking on the outside who just see a clip-baited thing where it's just clipped out of context. They just see someone making a racist or a sexist or whatever, a cruel reference, instead of the fact that these are just a bunch of friends in a house teasing each other. It is messed up that none of them were gay and they're kind of making a gay joke,
They
but
cause harm. You are not who you associate with. Bees and their refusal to take accountability and who they're friends with needs to be studied. Buddy with shitty people who say shitty things makes you shitty, dumbass. I love how I sort of agree, but for completely different reasons. Like, I don't care about the dumbass edgy jokes. I care about the Hassan support. All right.
Yeah,
I'm very
terrorism support.
single-minded in that issue. He can't make those homophobic jokes around me. You're not who you associate with. I've never heard something so privileged. Sorry, but actively associating with people who's homophobic then telling people to call you out is crazy work. 6K likes and there's like 100 of these tweets. Moving on to Jellywig. Right, quick recap. Last time, Ludwig turned on Hassan saying it was 100% a shock collar.
I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar.
Then he apparently got the boss call and he put the shock collar on, he got zapped, and then he changed his mind, right? Now he's saying that on his mother's life, it's a vibration collar.
I didn't see prongs.
yeah, the thing is when he said it's 100% a shock collar, he said on his mother's life. And like 13 hours later, he says on his mother's life, it's not a shock collar. Bro just doesn't care about his mother.
I'm pretty sure it's a vibrate collar. On my mother's life.
Rip Ludwig's mom, I guess. So Ethan responded reacting to the Ludwig Colorgate reversal. Ethan says, Hassan, I'm sending an ultra top secret photo to Ludwig to prove my innocence. I will not be sharing it with anyone else. Oh my god,
Again.
that's actually so true. Because if Hassan actually had this top secret photo that
He
just
would have
proved
showed
his
it.
innocence and exonerated him completely, he would instantly show it to the internet. Why would he only show it to Ludwig and show him the close-up photos and be like, oh yeah, I totally convinced my pal Ludwig right here. Now, Ludwig did say it wasn't Hassan that sent him those photos, but it's probably some Hassan associate or whatever. And Hassan probably sent them those photos, right? The origination of the photos obviously came from Hassan because he's the one with the color, right? So if you just think about it logically, it makes absolutely no sense. And the fact that Ludwig fell for this just, I don't know. But his IQ is rapidly dropping after being a Hassan orbiter. Ethan continues, all right, my short-lived respect for Ludwig is gone. XQC is not driving Colorgate, it's Hassan. Every time he lies about it, he prolongs it. And Ludwig, you act like you're better. Bro.
Yes, I said this in the beginning. If he would have just admitted it in the beginning, said my trainer, like thrown his trainer under the bus, it would have all gone away. Sure, there would still be some people who were unhappy that he had been shocking his dog for a long period of time, but it would have gone away. Because it's like he owned up to it, he stopped using the collar.
You were the reason this story exploded again this week. And now you backtracking is once again prolonging the drama. You are driving it forward way more than XQC with your antics. Grow a fucking spine. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god, bro. The entire internet has co-opted this spineless jellyfish language. It's actually hilarious. W Ethan for this take. I don't know why he started going demon time on XQC, being like, he's the most chaotic, evil person fanning the flames of the drama. He's the biggest streamer perpetuating this drama. Like, come on, dude. Like, Ludwig definitely played a massive role in prolonging it. Hassan himself. It all just ties back to Hassan, honestly. Moving on to XQC. So Ludwig was calling XQC a chaotic, evil human, even though it's not his fault for this whole drama. And Ludwig said that XQC didn't actually care about the dog being abused and he's just trying to farm drama. So XQC responded on Twitter saying that that's not what he said. Now he's following up, cooking Ludwig.
I don't give a fuck if he abuses the dog. I don't give a fuck if he...
The thing is, if you're going to make claims like this, talk to the person beforehand. You don't just go, like, you don't just go live and throw someone under the bus. You don't. You get evidence, you have proof, like, oh, it's definitely not a shock collar. Well, you can't just say that after you said it's 100% a shock collar and say, I saw pictures, I'm not going to share them. When everyone else has shown evidence and proof, even though it might not all be real, at least show something. Because right now, there's far more evidence pointing to it being a shock collar than it not.
He's a shock collar.
I said, in the grand scheme of
And he's
things,
throwing someone under
and
the
I
bus.
remember saying it. The next thing I'm going to say, I said, if you put all the things that somebody can do to be wrong in the grand scheme of things, right? Like this shock collar possible story, right? Is not even in the top 50% of like in the grand scheme of things. It's not the end of the world. I said it is not something that ends your career. It's just not. I think everybody's gonna agree with me. Yes, it's bad. Yes, don't do that shit. Yes, it's fucking stuck to the animal. Don't be a bitch ass. But in the grand scheme of things, right? I don't care enough about this to go on a crusade and go, oh my god, animal rights, animal rights. Nobody, when I said that, nobody blinked an eye. If anything, I got nods and people said, yeah, okay, yeah, what you said, it makes sense.
He has an alter ego called the Debunker.
Yo,
I think
I don't even control the Debunker. I don't even control that. It just happens. Never try to go after the Debunker if you're not with the deep. Guys, if you go against the Debunker, you have to debunk. It's how you win. I'm telling you the kryptonite of the Debunker. You debunk the debunker, or you stay hidden. Little.
That's funny. He's like, I can't control it. When I start it, I just call myself that. That's funny. I wish I had a personality like that. It's just like, oh, this happened. I'm gonna go and investigate all of this. Like, no.
Buddy,
I just enjoy the drama.
Hidden.
Bro, I can't actually believe this, but XQC is more likable than Ludwig now. I mean, the fact that Ludwig turned into the ultimate jellyfish is crazy, dude. He was just about to have a semblance of common sense and just about to break free from Hassan's place command, but then he got shocked back into submission. It was like Palpatine Piker executed Order 66, and Ludwig, like the fucking clone trooper he is, turned his mind around like a chip installed in his brain. Like, isn't that exactly what happened here? He was on one side, execute Order 66, and then he turns around like, bro, this is the Star Wars universe. The Debunker is a better alter ego than Spineless Jellyfish. It's like a meme. It's like not even a real thing, and he's getting so pressed about it. This is what I don't understand. He literally did not get the meme. The unemployed must really be getting the 9-to-5 experience keeping up with all this drama lately. Honestly, shout out to the people who are working a 9-to-5 and still finding time to watch the legendary series. Like, I've seen the comments on.
Yep. You have to. You take a lunch break, you have to watch it. You have to keep up because it's just that entertaining. It's that entertaining. I'm at work and I'll like try to squeeze in a lunch break because I'm always so busy that I'm like, let's see if I can watch an episode. Get a few minutes in and I'm like, oh crap, I got to get back to work. You just have to. It's that entertaining. You have to go back and watch it from the beginning because the whole thing kind of just went upward. Very, very upward because it was about everyone else that was surrounded by Hassan, and then all of a sudden Hassan became the sole focus. But he made himself the sole focus.
On your break, before work, sometimes during work. I don't know what kind of work you're doing where you're watching my videos on the side, but I approve. Okay, probably boost your performance like 30% or something.
Yep.
But yeah, shout out to you guys. Right, so then XCC responds to Hassan saying that the situation is being blown out of proportion.
What kind of dog is forced to stay in one area and sleep for 5 hours? I was like, every dog.
Yeah.
Have you been around a dog?
Yeah.
They love.
The key word he used there was forced. You're not supposed to force them. The fact that he said forced, he's already lost the argument. My dog, since I started the stream, has been underneath my desk. For an hour and 43 minutes, he has been underneath my desk. He hasn't moved, but I did not force him. He's choosing to be down there because I'm right here. Because I've developed a relationship with him to where he wants to be with me, wants to be close to me. Even when I'm laying on my bed, he chooses not to be at his bed. He'll lay like on the floor right next to the bed. So when I need to get out to go to the bathroom, I almost step on him because he's laying right there. It's like, dude, then I have to step over him, and then he wakes up because my feet go over him. Yeah. But yeah, the key word he used was force. You never force them. You teach them. You train them.
A lot of people that complain probably crate their dogs all day when they're at work.
Their dogs are like living inside of piss and shit as they go and work in a fucking.
Oh my god, yo, bro, this is like a SNL skit. It's gotta be right. Brother man, Yo, you guys have seen Ico's dog on my stream. You know what happens with the dog? Yeah, it sleeps behind me all the time, right? It sleeps there. It don't sleep off camera, out the room. Brother!
Yep.
Yes, the dog sleeps all day. It's forced to sleep in one spot though. Brother, it has a designated painted lines.
Good morning.
In zone. It has, guys, it's trained to place. Yeah, but explain, why does it have to place though? What, are you a blind person that has to go sit in class and it has to be there? What is the explanation for what it has to be in a place? Why?
I mean, exactly. There is zero reason that Hassan has to actually electrocute the living shit out of his dog, right? This isn't a life or death situation. This isn't a situation where the dog is running onto oncoming traffic. It's not dealing with dangerous criminals where it needs to be perfectly trained. This is you forcing her to stay on stream as a prop in a fucking 1x1 square. It is disgusting. You're a piece of shit. You've been caught lying, and no amount of Hollywood streamers gaslighting us is going to convince us otherwise. Moving on to the Emiru situation. Basically, Emiru was essayed at TwitchCon due to the lack of security measures. I can't show the clip because like 3 of my videos got restricted and demonetized because of it, even though I showed it completely censored and didn't even show it, to be honest. But that's YouTube. You can't even condemn bad things happening without even showing it. This is crazy. Anyways, now she's saying that Twitch refused to reveal the assaulter in order to protect themselves.
Yeah, it's the whole thing with Twitch, which is funny. I'm streaming there right now. Is insane. It's probably not going to last long. Twitch isn't going to last long unless they completely redo everything. It's not going to last long. The refusing to take accountability, the not having safety measures in place. I mean, why people would go to a Twitch event to begin with is beyond me. But I've never kind of been in that kind of circle. Never kind of been in that kind of circle. So I don't know. I don't know.
Emiru reveals that Twitch initially refused to hand over the name of her assaulter to San Diego police until someone called in with a concerning tip.
Told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying like, oh, I'm, traveling to Texas, and I caused like quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person reached out to my manager, reached out to police. San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly. And this whole time my manager was basically begging Twitch, dude, please give us his name. We don't know who this person is. For all we know, he lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. I can't help her if I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it. But after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah, so the investigation's still going on, but it's been a huge mess because of all of the delays and refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't lie.
This is insane. Okay, so she was sexually assaulted at a TwitchCon event. She's a Twitch streamer. Very popular Twitch streamer. See, she was sexually assaulted. And Twitch did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Allowed the person to leave the premises, just walk out. Not even stopped. It is absolutely disgusting that that was allowed to happen. That is an absolute crime. Saying something in chat like, oh, you're attractive, I want to this, you can ban the person, right? That's something completely different. But in real life, she was assaulted and nothing happened. That is absolutely disgusting. And the fact that he was just walked past everyone, all the security, everything, because nobody did anything. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. At a Twitch event, she was sexually assaulted. And then turns out there were many cases that happened at this last event. There should never be another TwitchCon. And the higher ups said everyone should be terminated. But that's basically what happened.
Like, say too much about it. Like, all this that I'm saying, obviously, I, like, ran by my lawyer and stuff.
Hello, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy here. Greetings, Amy-Roo, big fan. I heard a mentally deranged gooner freak assaulted you. Well, what you didn't know is that's my boy right there. He's part of my club, actually. The Secret Gooner Society of Twitch, of which I am the leader, of course. We can't have my boy and my disciple.
Yeah. And the CEO, the Dan Clancy, the really old dude, he was at parties with like old teenagers, 18, 19, young 20-year-olds, girls. He was at parties with them while the assault was taking place and everything. He didn't care. The CEO of the company was going out clubbing, not caring about the incident that happened at his own convention. Why? Because he likes hanging out with young women. Like, again, I wouldn't care if he was hanging out with young women, if he was single and didn't have kids or probably grandkids that those kids' age. If he was just a single old dude who always thought he was a frat bro, because there are those people who just always never grew up, I'd be absolutely okay with him doing this party stuff because he's never mentally mature. He's a father. He is married and hanging out with 18, 19, 20-year-old girls. After one of his top streamers is SA'd because he doesn't care.
Getting arrested, can we now? You understand, don't you, Emiru? I'll gift
60-something.
you an extra sub, and hopefully this all goes away. Whoopsie, gotta go. I got a party with 3 19-year-old e-girls. And the dynamic diddler Clancy out. Guys, I don't know what to do. He's in my walls. I've tried contacting the police. They say they don't deal with ghosts and demons and gooners especially, so. Moving on to the latest story here. Twitch streamer Emiru has accused fellow streamer Misgif of assault, abuse, stalking, harassment, and threats of blackmail. Oh boy. Emiru detailed her allegations on stream and says she has filed a restraining order. Des did a small meme leak because I used to be in these circles. Misgif did the same stuff to Maya too. He'd go live at the same time as her shows and staff to cuck her viewership because he started to get ass mad that her viewership was climbing. I love how Destiny loves to use the word cuck, by the way. It's just, you know, funny. Right, so this is an ongoing story. Misgif used to be one of the biggest streamers. The accusations are nuts. She's claiming this dude was like an unhinged psychopath who raged at her for having more viewers, chucked like phones at her, SA'd her, blackmailed her, threatened to neck himself, and just like so much bad shit. Emiru's live talking about her story.
I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking.
So, this isn't the first time something like this has happened at TwitchCon. The reason why it became such an issue is because somebody recorded the incident and posted it online. Men have been sexually assaulted at prior TwitchCons. Women have as well, but when the men had a video of it and it got posted, nothing happened because they're men. But when the other women that it happened to, they didn't have video of it, so it didn't take off. But once there was a video of it, and everyone saw just how poorly it was handled, that's when it blew up. Because this isn't the first time. And she especially has a history of creepers, a history of stalkers. A lot, apparently. Because the more you hear, the more you learn. And it's just like, what the heck? How did she not have security? The only security she had was her own. Because Twitch didn't give her security.
And harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Ms. Kiff has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, But like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done.
Right, so she goes on to say that he's apparently been doing this behavior with other people and it's harming others, so that's why she's choosing to speak out about it. Obviously, wait till you hear both sides of the story before jumping to any conclusions, but for now, just hear her out and hear her side of the story. Emiru says that Mizgis has been indirectly threatening her for a while.
I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And
So, this is one thing I have an issue with. This right here. So, I'm a firm believer that as soon as you're done, especially for women out there, if something like this happens to you, report it immediately. I don't care what blackmail they have. I don't care. Report it immediately. And use receipts. You have to use receipts. You can't just say this happened and not have receipts. That's how you destroy someone's career. You have to have receipts. And she does have receipts. You have to show it to the public immediately. Because guess what? If someone's willing to do something to you, guys too, guys can fall under this as well. If someone is willing to do something to you, to blackmail, to force you into situations, they're willing to do it to somebody else. You can't just say, oh, I want to hide it because it's not a big deal. It's one of those things. A lot of women do this. I'm sure every guy out there, raise your hands or leave a comment if you're watching this past stream. If you know somebody who, if you either are a woman, a guy, or know someone, a woman, a guy, who's been in this situation where they're like, oh, I just don't want to hurt them. I don't want to make a big scene out of it. Yes, yes, I was blackmailed. Yes, I was abused, but I don't want to make a big scene out of it. I've known plenty. It's ridiculous. It's just like, hello, just report it. This person's going to do it to somebody else. Oh no, but I like her grandmother. He's got a kind sister. It doesn't matter. He's a terrible human being. Who cares what his family is? It happens all the time. Report it. You never hold on to it. You never hold on to it because by keeping quiet about it, even though you're trying to not bring it to the light, you're trying to just forget about everything, someone else is going to suffer because of it. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. Oh.
I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless,
studio.
Yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer.
You should have never held on to it in the first place.
So.
As bad as that is,
an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I killed animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this
Yeah, I had my lizard die on me. Animals pass away. It's sad. It's tragic. Especially when they're not ones that you can really build a relationship. Rabbits, you can't really build a relationship with. Like dogs, even cats. You can kind of build a relationship with them, but a rabbit, not so much. Their brains aren't big enough. Lizards, kind of. It really depends. I didn't get my lizard at a young age, so it never really. I got an old one.
Information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay.
Right, that just sounds absolutely nuts. That sounds like some crazy-ass blackmail the way she described there. Now, she has provided some screenshots and stuff, but not everything, of course. Maybe there's more evidence behind the scenes or whatever. She seems to be working with lawyers as well legally on the issue, so it depends like if they're gonna take some legal action here. So probably can't share much more, but yeah, take of that as you will. Emery talks about some of the abuse she experienced: destroyed walls, banging on the door, screaming.
Walls, again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so.
Who cares?
Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. And then at home, other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly...
See, just imagine that. If this was the other way around, what's funny is that there's a double standard. If this was the other way around, I could kind of see it. If I posted if me and my wife were both like doing YouTube and streaming things, and I posted something and I was doing much better than her, and if we were doing the same topic, I could understand her getting upset about it, because I don't want to be rude, but in general, women are not 100%, but in general, women are more emotional. The fact that it's the guy being the one butthurt that his views aren't doing so well, who cares? You should be happy that someone you're with is successful. Because guess what? If you actually ended up together, all that money's yours. Well, technically not. Everything I make is my wife's, and everything my wife makes is my wife's. So being a guy sucks, but I know my place.
Perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it.
No way bro wants to die over a Mr. Beast invite. That's diabolical, bro. What the fuck is that? That's gotta be like the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. Yeah, what she's describing there is just completely insane. That is just not normal behavior. And if this turns out to be true, right, all of her accusations, then I feel like his career will be over for sure, right? This is not...
It's easily believable, because guys apparently, like, I don't want to be rude to guys, because I know some of you are watching. Not all, but women are easily emotionally manipulated. As rude as that is to say, they are easily emotionally manipulated. Because if you're to say, like, if someone says to me, okay, so I have a story. So I lived in San Francisco for 4 years while I went to college, and I had several roommates. I had multiple roommates because in San Francisco it's incredibly expensive. And one time we were all playing video games together. Well, I wasn't playing. I don't play like NBA 2K or whatever it's called. And it was two of my roommates were playing, and one of them was getting so incredibly pissed. Incredibly pissed. He was saying he was going to kill himself and all this. My other roommate, who I still do content with, went to my room, because I'm someone who always has like weapons, blades, all different kinds of things on hand. went to my room. He grabbed a knife, set it in front of him. It's like, we'll play one more game. He said in front of him, he says, we'll play one more game. Of course, he won the game, and the other guy was pissed because emotional manipulation works on women. Guys don't care. Guys don't care unless you're more sensitive than other people. But it was absolutely hilarious going back. I mean, it would have been devastating, but he wasn't that kind of guy. He was just used to hanging around women. I mean, he did adult content videos. That's literally like he worked at I think it's called King's Studios. I think that's what it called. But yeah, he did adult content videos. So he was used to being around that kind of clientele. So it didn't work around the guys. It didn't work around us. But yeah, it's incredibly dark. It really is. But it was absolutely hilarious, especially in hindsight. It's absolutely hilarious. Well, it's dark in hindsight, but absolutely hilarious. Because you have to know the person. You have to be around them enough. And we were around him enough to know he wouldn't do anything. He was just saying things which would normally get women to respond and comfort him and things like that. Because it was instinctive in him to do that kind of thing. As bad as that is, it was instinctive in him.
Something you can come back from. Jesus, he needs to attend therapy and work out a lot of the issues in his life. Misgifts offline chat, I feel like I wasted years of my life. Now the question is, did Twitch know? My god. Basically high school drama with millionaire narcissist. Emiru accuses Misgift of SA. Right, so this part, she basically says that she was like very vulnerable and crying, and then, you know, he kissed her, and then he tried to like put his hands down her pants and do more, and then she screamed, and then he jumped out of the way like a cat or something. I don't really want to play this part, not gonna lie, but yeah, she continues to describe even more abuse like a black eye.
Yeah, well, so that did happen, like she claimed, well, she claims that happened, and even Mizkiff came out and said that happened. The thing is, if they were in a relationship, because at that point in time, they weren't in a relationship. They were on again, off again, on again, off again. They weren't in a relationship at that point in time. So that's assault. If you're in a relationship, it's something different. It's something different. You're trying to comfort her. You're trying to make her feel like everything's okay. Not everything's going to go bad. But yeah, it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation because it's like, oh, they were on again, off again. They were on again, off again. It's a pass. It's like, no. Now, if my wife is troubled, I can do whatever I want because we are married. And I told her she made the mistake of marrying me.
Obsessiveness. She also says that she's expecting a lawsuit from him.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream, and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today.
Discovery.
And what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things.
If it's true, he probably won't. Because going through discovery, everything will be laid bare. Everything.
That even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it. And I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore. It's out there. And Yeah.
Right, so she's literally expecting a lawsuit from him as well, something like a slap or whatever, right? And which means, I'd hope, that she has all the evidence on deck and ready to present in order to win any court case thrown at her, right? It seems like she has discussed this with her lawyers and maybe thought this through, but obviously this all depends on Mizkif's response, whether he has any evidence that disproves her allegations, right? Obviously, in these situations, again, I want to reiterate, you don't want to jump to conclusions, even if you really like one side or whatever. Just sort of take in all the facts and then come to a logical conclusion. Right, so Asmund responds, and he's been aware of this for a while. He's supporting Emiru. He's her friend as well. And he's telling Mizkif to leave the internet. Asmund calls out the Miz kids. He has an open message to Mizkif. F off, have some dignity, and retire.
Wow, why is it such a coincidence that all the people in Austin and also LA don't talk to him? I think he's also, like, there's been a large part of his community that's been trying to, like, actively downplay and spread misinformation and lie, and especially, hurt Emiru. And I think that really, I hope that now, after seeing the receipts and seeing the screenshots and seeing the edits and everything, I hope you realize who you're defending. I hope you realize that this is what you've been fighting for. And the amount of, like, lies and misrepresentations and vicious attacks that she and other people that were involved in the friend group had to endure, and the pressure that they would put on people to interact with him, was disgraceful. It was parasocial, disgraceful, embarrassing, and pathetic. Any open message to Miz? Fuck off. Have some dignity and retire.
But yeah, crazy stuff.
Yep.
We just had her
money to
getting
retire.
essayed live on camera as well on TwitchCon as well, and now she has to come out with this story. Yeah, this is just a tough time for streamers and their community as a whole. Hassan is probably so happy right now that there's a new drama and people might likely get off his back about shocking Kaya.
Nope.
The thing is, that's probably exactly the case. This guy's a fucking psycho. Okay? He's probably ecstatic about this. Now click this video or you'll lose your spine. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone needs to check him out. More Pegasus. Always good for more Pegasus. Absolutely. More Pegasus is always a good thing. Always a good thing. check out his videos.
It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, like that.